What's up, Raiders? I'm Henrik Smolstein, and today I'm joined by Marco and Dominic for this January edition of RaiderTake.
That's right, Hendrix. We're bringing the updates, the energy, and the analysis that you don't want to miss.
All right, enough said. Let's see what's up.
To start us off, we take to the pitch as Elena sits down with Coach Davidson and Gabo to talk about the team's mindset and preparation throughout the soccer season.
So we're kind of ready for the playoffs and ready to prove how good we are, but it's been really fun so far.
Next, we visit Who Court as Desi sits down with Coach Marquez to talk everything Gulliver basketball.
I think that for us at the beginning of the year, where we showed our culture was where we moved like a family. Everything was, hey, if we did something, we did it together.
And afterwards, Dylan and Nick bring us input from the film room as they break down our biggest basketball moments from the season.
And I was over there in the crowd, and the stands were blowing up. It was an unimaginable thing that could have happened. And finally, Elena and Kara introduced us to the Reesewood Foundation, which turns the game of basketball into a tool for change.
So if you are in a position to give back, I think you should, because I always learn, like, when you give, you will receive.
Buckle up, because RaiderTake
Starts now. You might be crazy, okay?
Another season in the books for our soccer team, and this season may have not had the results that we wanted. Can you two give us a breakdown on the season?
I didn't see this season as a failure at all. I mean, there was cards and there was injuries that derailed our trajectory, but after all, we built a chemistry that will help us for years to come.
And I see your point on trajectory, but I'm actually have to disagree with you on that. I know it's a little early to be looking into next year, but I already see some tactical changes that I think need to be made. For one, we're jamming the ball up the middle over and over again to no avail instead of looking up the sidelines and looking for crossing opportunities. And the scoreboard is an adequate reflection of that.
Hey there, Mr. Soccer. Last time I saw, you were the one in the locker room. Let's take it to the man behind the scenes and Coach Davidson and Gabo. Take us away.
So now I'm here with Coach Davidson and soccer player Gabo Zerkovic, and we're here to talk about your soccer season. So can you guys tell me, obviously this season has been a great season for you guys. Can you tell me more like the story behind that? Like, why do you think the season was so successful?
We focus really more about process, what we do every day, how we train, how we treat each other, how we behave, what our values are, and our experience over a long period of time. If we focus on those things, that will lead to the outcomes that you want on the field. But we really control what we do on a daily basis. And so we work really hard at it, and we get comfortable that sometimes the results in the field are better and sometimes they're worse, but that's not our measure of success. So we've got an incredible senior class led by Gabo. We've got a really wonderful group of players who've been together for a while. And part of their mission is not just this year, but we've now won 9 state titles, and our goal is to win more over time. But every class, whether they win or not, has been part of that legacy of great success. And so part of these guys' job is not just this year, and they're doing a great job, but making sure we're set up next year and the following and the following. And so by that measure, it's been a really wonderful year. We've played 35 guys, I think, in varsity games. Our second team has had an outstanding year as well. So we're kind of ready for the playoffs and ready to prove how good we are. But it's been really fun so far.
So obviously you guys have come really close. You guys have worked really, really hard. Do you think dealing with tough losses, like how do you let your deal with that?
I mean, I think part of the journey you'll have to lose, in my opinion, because that kind of shows the character that you are and how hard you're willing to work. And also in life, like it teaches you a lesson of not like stuff are not always gonna go your way. And it's not about how you win, it's about how you lose and what you do after your loss that defines who you are.
And I think part of that is how you define what losing is. Losing is not, we played a great game, we did the best we can, and the scoreboard says a different number than we want. Losing is not trying.
Yeah.
Losing is not preparing properly. Losing is not doing all of the things you need to try and be successful. We don't control what the score on the scoreboard says, right? What if we played the best team in the country? What if the referee made a mistake? So to me, it's about constant, consistent effort and not getting caught up in did we win, did we lose? It's how did we perform? And if we perform our best and tried our hardest, we should kind of be okay with that. And if we won a game where we didn't play particularly well and we didn't particularly try, we shouldn't be so happy with that outcome, regardless of what some silly scoreboard says that we don't control.
what do you see like the future of the soccer program or just soccer in general here at Go Livid? Like, where do you see that going?
As I look down at the young players that we have coming in the system, we have an incredible amount of talent. I think we've got a lot of infrastructure. We know we've got the best media team, so you guys are going to cover it super well. And I think it's going to be, you know, more of the same, but hopefully we'll find a way to make it better.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming and doing this interview, and I wish you guys the best of luck for this season.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time.
Now let's shift to basketball, where the season is coming to a close. Honestly, I don't think the record was a good representation of where we were in this season. I mean, this team is so feisty and bring the energy all year long and grew so much along the way.
Yeah, you have a point, but I would love to see someone step up in our offensive production, considering we don't have a lot of isolation scorers, and next year it might be a problem considering Champ's going to move on to college.
Hey, you ever thought you might be the key to upping our isolation scoring this year? I'm not saying anything, but for now, we move to the man behind it all. Coach Marquez sits with Desi for his input on how this electric group of young guys is growing at rapid rates.
Thanks guys, I'm here with Coach Marquez, our boys basketball varsity head coach, and we're gonna ask him about how the season went, how it's going, and just how you're doing this season. So how are you?
Awesome, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So our first question is a really important one in my opinion, which is how do you go from a heavy senior team and players who have a huge dynamic upperclassmen, whole different mindset, to a slightly younger team with only 4 or 5 seniors?
I think that having a returning player from last year's senior team kind of helped out. But then we had, I guess, you know, little secrets that people didn't know, like Felix. He had been part of the program, hasn't been on varsity, but he had been on part of the program. So I think having guys around the program, even if they were part of it on the court, but just being around it kind of helped out.
You talked about him being here for the summers and being a part of the team. How do you take like team morale and just the vibe of the team and the team dynamic? Like how do you take that as a coach and project that to the students and or the players and what you want the team to feel like?
I think that what we need is more of a unit that moves like a family, right? So I think that when we talk about culture, a lot of people use that when things are going good. I think that for us at the beginning of the year, where we showed our culture was where we moved like a family. Everything was, hey, if we did something, we did it together. If we got in trouble, they ran together. So I think a lot of the stuff have to do with just making sure that you're doing more things off the court than just, you know, practices and running and your sprints and all those types of things. I think that you got to build some sort of chemistry off the floor before you can have chemistry on the floor.
And as the season comes to an end, we unfortunately had a lot more losses than we would like to. How do you think the boys are dealing with that? And how do you help them get to a better point than just like, oh, we took a loss?
Yeah. So with the group being so young, I think that it was just next day mentality, not really next game. It was just like, hey, every day, let's just get a little bit better, right? And obviously, you know, we're all here to win and we want to do well, represent the school, represent each other. But I think that right now, with the last 3 wins coming into our district run, I think that we're in a perfect place right now. I think that the ups and downs have gotten us to where we're at right now. And I think if we just stay together and we keep doing what we've been doing, I think we're going to, you know, keep on making some noise and going into the playoff season.
And looking forward to next season, what are you excited for, expecting? What would you do differently maybe?
So the one thing I'm very excited about is that, yes, we do graduate 4 guys, and quick shout out to my guy, Evan, our team manager. So we graduate 5 seniors, but our big impact players, besides the champs of the world, they will all return. So I'm very excited about having this group back. And then they'll be back again because we're a very young team with our guys that were sophomores. We have the Dylan Biondos and the Ethans of the world that will be going into their senior role, but having the guys that led this year, I think it would help them. If there's anything that I'm hoping for next year is a couple more students coming to our games. I know you guys had a high academic load, and I know you guys are tied up with other sports and doing a lot of things, but if we can just get, you know, the gym rocking, I think the energy, the players feel the energy coming from the stands, and I think that we all, you know, I think that will produce a couple more W's.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Desi.
Back to you guys.
That's why Marquez is such a great coach. He can be a little strict at times, but it's all love and player development on his side.
100%. He sure knows how to run a program, and he's built us a star-studded future with that. But after all, we have to focus on current day. As Master Uguay once said, tomorrow is a mystery, but today's a gift. That's why we call it the present. And in my opinion, that means we have to focus on the current state of Gulliver basketball.
I love that Kung Fu Panda reference, and I agree, we do need to focus on the present. And that's why Nick and Dylan will do just that as they take us to the film room to analyze this year's biggest plays.
Thanks, guys. I'm Dylan Biondo.
And I'm Nicholas Greinberg. Welcome back to the film room.
As the boys' varsity basketball season comes to an end, I think it's only right that we look at some of the biggest moments from throughout the season.
That's right, Dylan. And this first play right here with the Raiders against the Tornadoes, I think we do a pretty good job. Why don't you give us a bit of insight on it?
Absolutely. So right now, it's about the middle of the fourth quarter. Gulliver is in a close game against Booker T. Washington, only up by 5, and we need a nice bucket here to keep momentum going. Win Allen is going to dribble the ball across the top of the key, bringing in the defender on Champ Smith in the corner, letting him get easy to the rim. So let's see how he does it. As you can see, Win Allen and then finds Champ getting the easy bucket to give us a nice 7-point lead.
Wow, Champ Smith. You've heard me talk about him out on the football field, but on this court, he is no different.
Absolutely.
I mean, this guy's getting bucket after bucket after bucket, and this next play shows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Champ's strength is in his agility, in his size, and how he can get the ball up to the rim and smash it down on those defenders. You see him backed up over here in the corner with all these defenders. Look, all eyes on Champ, right? What's he gonna do? You don't know. So he's gonna fake over this way, give himself some room to cut in, and he's gonna cut in, get his feet in the paint, and send it straight up, and boom, smash down a bucket all over all these defenders, and that's what Champ Smith does. Take a look.
There we go, Champ drives, and then bang, right on the defender's head, tying the game.
Every time, Dylan. This guy never ceases to impress me.
I'm gonna be honest, Nick, I think I see a little bit of you out there.
I haven't played basketball in too long, but you know who is actively in season? This guy, Dylan Biondo. We gotta give you some credit, man.
You're too kind.
Talk to me.
So right now, we're in a game against Archbishop Carroll, the start of the second quarter. Gulliver is currently up by 1 point, and this is senior night, so we want to take a lead so we can get all of our seniors back in the game. To start it off, Win Allen again is going to dribble it across the top of the key and then find Champ for the back door. Let's see how that goes. So Champ for the back door, bang, and then that gives Gulliver a 3-point lead. But I don't know if you guys can see this. Nico Lyall is standing here in the back, and he's going to try and disrupt the offense, trying to dribble the ball up the court. So as he's going to inbound the ball, let's see what Nico can do. He's going to pass it in, and then bang, Nico gets the steal from the defender, giving Gulliver another possession to make something happen. So as he gets the steal, all of the Gulliver players are going to come back up, and then he's going to find me right here at the top of the key. And then, honestly, Nick, I'm going to let this play do the majority of the talking, but as you can see, I dribble it from across the key, nice crossover, step back, and come on, guys, we knew this shot was going in.
Dylan, I will say these defenders have no options when they got you on the 3. This guy hits it every single time. But it would also be an injustice to the team if we didn't highlight that one magic play everyone's been talking about. Might have seen it all over the social media. We got our senior forward, Felix Vergara. Man, he was getting me up in my feelings, if you know what I'm saying.
Me too.
Watch, last few seconds of the third quarter, we're already up. Let's go Raiders. But we need a last little push. That little, get the crowd going. Watch. From the other county over, he's still, before the half court, sends it flying and bam! Gives it that exclamation point that the Raiders needed just to get that win. Wow, look at that energy. I mean, look at all these team members rushing the court. It was just an amazing experience. I was personally there in those stands, and I can tell you that crowd was blowing up. I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Absolutely, Nick. And a lot of people might look at Felix's shot and say it was just luck. But if you've been there at the practices like I have, then you would have seen him taking that shot, getting the reps in, so by the time it was game ready, it was gonna go in.
That's right. I mean, it's evident that the basketball boys have had an amazing season so far, and it's coming to an end, but we got playoffs coming up in not too long, and I want to say, go Raiders, good luck basketball. That's gonna be, I'm excited,
Thank you, Nick. Well, that's it for us. We'll see you back at the desk.
That's some great analysis by Dylan and Nick. After the commercial break, Elena and Kara walk us through the Reesewood Foundation, who bring the great game of hoops to the less fortunate day in and day out. Stay tuned for more analysis after the break.
Tired of the drop? Stick it anywhere.
How's your phone doing that?
I have an octobus.
Finally, Elena and Kara give us an inside look at the amazing work of the Reese Wood Foundation.
Hey Raiders, I'm Elena Zamello.
And I'm Kara Gazatua, and today we're showing that competition isn't always about winning,
but instead about giving more people a chance to play.
Let's go. When deciding where to go, we knew we wanted to go somewhere connected to sports, but with a bigger purpose.
And one place stood out more than the rest. And that's why we came to the Reese Wood Foundation, a charity foundation and basketball clinic which helps make sure kids have the equipment and support they need to play and compete. But before we head over, let's gear up.
So let's go in.
Playing a sport takes more than just skill, it takes access.
And for many kids, getting equipment is the biggest barrier. 41% of kids from low-income homes play sports, compared to 76% of kids from higher-income homes, showing how access can vary.
So where I grew up back in Philadelphia, there was a lack of community services. So me, as I got older, I was reflecting my childhood, knew that I wanted to give back to the world and give back to the community, just make an impact. So for me, basketball is the force that I use, to make an impact on the world and just kind of sort of establish lifelong relationships. 1, 2, 3.
Well, Kara, I feel like a real winner today.
Me too, Elena. Giving back is a great way to feel like you won.
Well, that's it for us. We'll see you guys next time.
Wow, what's going on at the Reese Wood Foundation is really special. I mean, it just shows how much power sports has.
Agreed. But sports isn't all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, you've seen our high school records this year. We're facing some new adversity ever since NIL has been introduced. And honestly, I don't think that's a good thing. Looking into the college world, in my opinion, it's completely tarnished the world of college basketball.
I mean, I beg to differ. I mean, my pick to win the tournament is Kansas, and that is solely for the reason of Darren Peterson. He's getting paid like an NBA player, like $5 million a year in college. It's actually absurd. And with players like Bryson Tiller and Bedunga, who's averaging 15 points, 10 boards, and 3.5 stocks a game, and with Bill Self's coaching, widely regarded as one of the best coaches ever, I mean, I just don't see them losing in March.
Yeah, but that doesn't tail your argument because NIL isn't needed there. I mean, we can all admit the better team is Illinois, and their best players are getting paid NIL. Come on, guys. I mean, the dude is leading the country in offensive efficiency out of everyone with 20 usage rate. That includes guys like Cam Boozer, AJ DeBanza, all these guys getting paid millions of dollars, and he's leading it. And that's turned Illinois into the best offensive team in the country. #1 offense efficiency, #1 points per possession, #1 offensive rating. This offense is unguardable.
Unguardable? Okay, listen, you might have offense with Keaton Wagler, but he doesn't play defense, okay? I'm gonna take Houston off of this because defense wins championships. People say it all the time. My leading player is Kingston Flemings, getting paid NIL, by the way, $1.7 million a year to drop 16-5 while playing defense. Keaton Wagler doesn't do that. And with Coach Sampson, an experienced March coach with a 31-21 record, bringing them to the chip last year, the odds are just keep stacking with them.
Yeah, I get your point, but then Keaton Wagler can play defense. That's the one thing I don't track. I love Houston, love the coaching, love what they've built there, but they don't got Keaton Wagler. He's not getting paid $1.7 million, and he's doing better. I mean, his weakness, I get it, it's pick and roll defense, but when you have guys like Tomislav Ivasic, like Mrkovic, who can switch universally onto Wagler's guy, they can switch screens, and he doesn't get exploited whatsoever. And what you're left with after that is a great defense, the best offense, and the best chances at taking home some hardware. But I must admit, now that my argument has convinced you guys that Illinois is going to the Natty, I have to admit that your arguments convinced me that NIL might not be so bad. So I'm gonna have a hot take here. Hot take, Gulliver might need to think about implementing NIL in a couple years.
I will be the first to volunteer to that.
You've got a couple guys ahead of you in line. Don't get ahead of yourself. That's it for us. We'll be back with more sports news, updates, and debates next time on RaiderTake.